So I'm extremely honored to have Mr. Rajesh Kumar Singh, sir, in this webinar. He has 21 years of experience in BFSI sector. He is director of ICOFP, India's biggest CFP education partner of FPSB USA. And sir is an associate chartered accountant from ACCA, London, UK. FPSB USA, investment specialist, RTPS, REPA certified also. So he is certified financial planner also from FPSB USA, and he is a alumni of MTI Gurgaon. So as I told you, he has 21 years of experience into BFSI sector, industrial experience he has. So I welcome you, Rajesh, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Parul. Kanhaiya, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear, sir.
Perfect. So very good evening, participants. Thank you so much, Parul, for the sweet introduction that you gave here.
Thank you, sir.
Participants, as my teammate Parul shared, I bring in close to 2 decades of experience from the financial services industry. And I am pretty sure I have many of the participants here today who are far more experienced than me, far more knowledgeable than me. Okay, so with due respect to your experience, your knowledge, the topic that we are going to cover today, we are going to talk today is global careers with CFP certification. So all of you, if you relate to financial services in one or the other manner, maybe you are an IFA, maybe you are working in the banking and financial services, or maybe you are, I assume there may be many students as well. So you all have your own outlook to look at. Some of you may be looking at CFP as a kind of stepping stone to your career, maybe building your career in the financial services, whereas some of you may be looking at CFP in the sense that it will expedite your career growth. A quick chat that I wanted to do, because so let me tell you the format for the talk. I think my team will deliberately keep all of you on mute. So you will all be on mute, but if you want to ask questions, you can always raise hands and ask questions. You can raise hands using the Zoom panel, and they will allow you to unmute yourself. You can ask questions. That's one. Second, you can use the chat to ask questions as well. So very quickly, participants, if you can tell me who you are, maybe an IFA, a BFSI professional, a banking professional, a student, a chartered accountant. If you can write in the chat quickly, that will allow me to kind of shape my thought accordingly and shape the conversation accordingly. Okay, student, perfect. Okay. IFA, insurance, IFA, CS student, mutual fund distributor, IFA student, IFA, banker, CA, business manager, BCom, IFA, professor, management student, pursuing CA, accountant, CA interest. So I am I have got today an extremely learned audience, in the sense that I have chartered accountants, I have CA pursuing students, I have management graduates, I have MBAs, I have bankers, I have IFAs, I have insurance advisors, I have MFDs, and I have young bright students as well. Okay, stop. So now I understand you. I understand what you would like to derive out of this conversation today. So that was the reason why I wanted to ask you that question. So Kanhaiya, I'm sharing my screen. You have to confirm me if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Perfect. So what we are going to talk today is Global Careers with CFP certification. I am very sure that at least 80% of you may have heard of the word CFP. You may not be knowing it thoroughly. That's a different point altogether. And by the end of the session, you will be in and out of the CFP program, but you must have definitely heard about the word CFP. So even taking the benefit that some of you may not have heard, I would start from the very basic of Kanaya. By the time the conversation goes on, the talk goes on, a few people will keep writing in the chat. So you will have to help me if I miss those chats later on.
Sure, sir, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'll start from the very basic, very beginning by saying what is a CFP program? What does the word CFP mean? And then I'll go on talking about the program structure, what are the global career opportunities, and then how do you, the one question which is very often asked and very rarely answered well is how do you migrate from a country, like let's say you do your CFP certification in India, and then you want to work in New Zealand, you want to work in Australia, you want to work in US, you want to work in UK. So how do you use that by your migration? And if you migrate there, what happens with your certification? So all of that I'll be talking to you today. Okay, so first thing first, let us first understand what is CFP. What does the word CFP mean, right? So I know you know the full form of the word CFP. CFP is Certified Financial Planner. Okay, so somebody who has been certified for what? For doing financial planning, for managing personal finance, for managing investments, right? So that's the person who is certified financial planner, a professional who has been certified. Certified by whom? Certified by a regulatory body, a certifying body, a certifying authority. And what is that authority? That authority is FPSB, Financial Planning Standards Board. Financial Planning Standards Board is an international body based out of USA, Denver. So they are the certifying authorities. Okay. One second, my cursor is not working properly. Yeah. Second most important thing, gentlemen, CFP is a designation. Please do not confuse it with any other certification. So let me explain you the difference between designation and certification. So so when Parul was introducing, she shared that I am a chartered accountant, I'm a CFP, I'm an MBA. So let's for a moment assume that I am only an MBA. So with an MBA degree, am I entitled to write Rajesh Kumar Singh MBA? For fancy purposes, I write it deliberately somewhere, that's different. But am I entitled to write? No. Because MBA is a degree, MBA is a certificate, MBA is not a designation. Okay. As a chartered accountant, am I expected to write, am I authorized to write CA Rajesh Kumar? Yes or no? You can answer me in the chat, yes or no. Can I write CA Rajesh Kumar? Yes. Why? Because CA is a designation. It is, so the way doctors write DR, doctor with their name, because doctor is a designation. Okay, it's a professional certification which integrates designation in itself. Similarly, similar to CA, CFP is also a designation. So I am a CFP, I can write Rajesh Kumar CFP. Okay, because CFP is a designation. I am authorized to use that with my name. The difference is certifications at the end of the day are limited to being a paper. Designation become a part of your identity, your personal brand, right? Because I can use that as a prefix and a suffix with my name. So that becomes a part of my own personal brand, my personal identity. Yeah, so that's the biggest difference. Now, knowing that lot many of you are IFAs, insurance advisors, MFDs, you would agree with me that one of the biggest challenges that you face in your business is identity crisis. Because let's say in healthcare, doctors have a designation to write doctor. In financial services, in wealth management, in financial planning, you do not have a designation to write as such. What designation do you write? Right? Whereas if a chartered accountant is practicing, he writes CA. You are practicing financial planning, you are practicing wealth management, you are practicing investment advisory. Why should you not be writing Rajesh Kumar, your name, Manish Kumar, CFP, right? So that's the power, that's the identity, that's the mileage that the CFP designation brings for you. It gives you a different brand altogether, and it helps you build your credibility. Okay. Moving ahead, so CFP is world's topmost program in personal finance and financial planning. When I say world's topmost program, it is a gold standard program, and there is no other program rated ahead of CFP in wealth management and financial planning in the personal finance space. So when you want to build a career or build a profession, build a business somewhere in personal finance, if you are doing CFP, you are studying the world's topmost program. Okay. CFP is a global certification. That's what the agenda of the talk also is today. It's a global certification. When I say global certification, the program is recognized in 27 countries across the world. Okay. So meaning to say, if I happen to go from India to US, my certification would be valid. The CFP certificate that I hold here would be valid. It would be accepted there by the industry, by the regulators. It's a 4-in-1 program, which is the most unique feature. I do not know of any other program internationally which is a 4-in-1 program. If you know, you can write in the chat. But I have not heard of a program which is a 4-in-1 certification. Let me tell you what is 4-in-1 certification here. It essentially means you study for one program, which is CFP. You do one program, you study one program, CFP, you complete one program. But within the journey of doing your one program, CFP, you get 4 international certifications from FPSB. If you remember when Parul was introducing me, she said, I am also an FPSB registered investment specialist. That's the kind of certification which comes with you. She said RTPS, which is retirement and tax planning specialist. She said REPS, which is risk and estate planning specialist. So these are the certifications which come to you along with the CFP certification on the journey to be a CFP. So when you complete your CFP, you ultimately get 4 international certifications within the same program, within the same time frame, within the same cost. That's the reason why I'm saying it's the world's only 4-in-1 certification program. Last, and to make all of this quite easier for you to kind of summarize, giving you a simple analogy, the way CA stands for accounting and audit, similarly, CFP is for financial planning. If you have to talk about accounting and audit, there is no other program or no other certification which can beat, which can outperform CA. CA means the credibility, CA means the knowledge, CA means the expertise in accounts and audit. Similarly, CFP means the credibility, the knowledge, the identity, the credibility in terms of personal finance, financial planning, wealth management. Okay, so that's the analogy that you can always keep in mind to make it simple. So the question can be, why is Rajesh saying that CFP is a global program? Yes, it is recognized in 27 countries, but are there any other reasons, any other factors too, why Rajesh is saying, or why is everybody says, or why does even FPSB board say that CFP is a global program? So what makes CFP truly a global program? What are the factors behind it? So the first factor is recognition. As I said earlier as well, the program is recognized in 27 countries across the world. Your question can be, what are these 27 countries? Who are these 27 countries? So I have the answer. I'll show you that as well. So the program is recognized in 27 countries across the world, and there are more than 2 lakhs practicing CFP professionals. When I say practicing, please keep in mind, practicing CFP professionals are lesser than the number of actual CFP professionals. Okay, so there are more than 2 lakhs practicing CFP professionals across the world. And as the time passes, as people are getting more focused on managing wealth, managing money, the need for a wealth advisor, the need for a financial planner is increasing more and more. And that's why even countries are recognizing it even more and more. Like a CA, as a CFP, you are licensed, you are authorized to practice independently or work with companies, work with corporates. It's absolutely your choice. Okay, you have both the options. Like a CA, you can set up your own CFP firm or financial planning firm in your own name, or you can work with the company, work with financial planning firms, work with wealth management companies, brokerage houses, banks, fintech companies, insurance, MF, mutual funds, wherever you want to. The second reason what makes it truly a global program is the curriculum. You remember I said it's a 4-in-1 certification program. We have 130 odd participants here. I may not be knowing that there is any other program in the world which exists, which has a 4-in-1 certification. If other than me, if 129 know, I would request you to write in the chat so that I also learn from you. So there is no other program which offers you that 4-in-1 advantage. Now, if you look at the content that you study during your CFP program, the program also has approximately 30 to 40% global content. Global content meaning to say, when you study the CFP program, you study about the financial markets, the financial products, the systems, the concepts, not only related to India, but what is prevalent in other countries too. And what there are some things which are standard across the world. So you study all of that, right? So that makes the program truly global. Studying here with just the Indian curriculum, the program becomes a local one. Whereas in CFP, you study not only the Indian one, you study the overall global framework. You study about US market, you study about Canada market and European markets. So that makes the program truly a global program, global curriculum. The learning, the content that you study is focused around personal finance and investments. So what you turn out to be after completing your CFP is a personal finance champion. Okay, so people often get confused between CA and CFP, knowing that a lot of my participants here today are CA or CA pursuing. I am taking that example every now and then. So if you look at the CA curriculum, you study more about study more about accounting, audit, taxation, that part, company law, business law, that part. Whereas as an investment advisor, what are you supposed to be more specializing is investments, financial products, financial markets, financial structures. Even if law, if I have to know, I should be knowing investment laws, not the business law or the company law. Investment laws, the SEBI, RBI acts, all of that. And all that is a part of your CFP curriculum. The examination standards, the testing standards are absolutely international standards and very global feel as well, the way they have put the examination framework. It's an absolutely online exam, which you can appear at sitting at your home also. And then comes the governance of the program, the way the program is regulated. The certification is awarded by FPSB USA directly. So the certificate that you get after completing your CFP is from FPSB USA, right? So you truly have an international certification in your hand. It's not a local body certification saying, okay, he passed this XYZ exam, okay? And more like CA, it's a membership program where you renew your membership every year. So that makes it a professional structure. Yeah, so on the previous slide, I was saying your question can be, who are these 27 countries where CFP is recognized? So these are the 27 countries sorted in alphabetical order. I'll stay for a while so that if you are looking for the country of your dream, maybe United Kingdom or United States, look at the end. If you are looking at countries like Australia, look at the beginning. China is somewhere in the first line. India, your own country, is in the second line. And then you have Singapore in the third, South Africa in the third, Switzerland in the third, that way. So 27 countries, which include all the biggies and all the evolving markets as well, like BRICS market too. So that means the area that you have opened, the area where your certification is recognized is huge, wide. By this time, I am pretty sure lot many of you would be thinking, what if I want to go outside these 27 countries? Then what happens? Then is my program not recognized? Will I be not allowed to work? That may be a question. Okay, so that's what the truly global program is. You can go and work anywhere in the planet with your CFP certification. Okay, so then what does this 27 countries and rest of the other than these 27 countries mean? So let me explain that to you quickly too. I'll come to that after this slide. So this is a country-wise spread where how many practicing CFPs, let me emphasize the word practicing CFPs are. So if you are looking at India's number, which is just around 2000, don't get baffled with the fact saying that, oh, India has only 2000. No, India has close to 8,000 CFP qualified professionals. It is just that approximately 6,000 are working in the corporate domain and they have not renewed their licenses, their practicing licenses or memberships year on year. Okay, so this what you see here is those whose licenses have been renewed this year. Okay, so those are 2,000, but approximately 8,000 people have qualified CFP exam, CFP certification in the country. Coming to curriculum, that okay, if I want to do CFP program and if I do CFP program, what exactly do I learn and how it is different from a BCom, from an MBA, from my CA program? What extra do I get to learn here? Okay, so as I was saying, the program is a 4-in-1 program, right? So the 4-in-1 also means the program is divided in 4 levels. So there are 4 distinct levels: level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Each of these levels further have modules in them. Each of these levels further have modules in them. So let me repeat, CFP program is divided in 4 levels. Okay, level 1, level 2, level 3, and final, level 4. Each of these levels further have modules within them. Those modules are kind of subjects that you study as a part of the program. So coming to level 1 first, CFP level 1, which is called investment specialist, has got 3 modules to study. 3 modules. Okay. The first module is personal financial management. Personal financial management is where the curriculum starts from the very basics of saying what is assets, liabilities, net worth, cash flow, etc. And then it goes on to teaching you the various concepts of personal finance. It specializes more into time value of money. I know I have not many my CA friends here. I also am a CA, but trust me, the way CFP program teaches you time value of money, you do not even get to study that in a CA program. Time value of money, the way you study here and the kind of focus that comes in the CFP program is ultimate. So you get to study all of that in personal financial management. Then you move on to the next module, which is investment planning and asset management. The name is very clear, investment planning. So you study here all about various investment products, starting right from equities, commodities, currency, mutual funds, REITs, alternate investments, currency, all investment products, retirement products, bonds, IPOs. You study all investment products. One product which you do not get to study here in the CFP curriculum is crypto. Other than crypto, you study about all investment products and how to invest in them, the concepts of asset allocation, the concepts of portfolio building, all of that you get to study here. Then the third module, which the name says regulatory environment and legal compliances. So let me rename it in a much simpler term for you. This subject is nothing but investment laws. Now you are becoming an investment expert. You are supposed to be advising people on their money, advising people how to invest. So then you should be knowing about investment laws as well. So the way I was saying that as a CA, I would have specialized, I would have learned company law and business law. Here as a CFP, you would learn investment law in detail, right? What are the laws which govern investments, which impacts investment, which impact financial markets, right? So you get to study all of that here. You complete these 3 modules, you take the exam, you pass the exam, move to level 2. Okay, it's that format. Level 2 is simpler. Level 2, you have only 2 modules to study, only 2 modules, not 3 modules like level 1. 2 module, which is retirement planning module 1, tax planning module 2. In the retirement planning, what do you study? Retirement planning is primarily where you study about all the retirement products, the fixed income products, then measuring the retirement goal, measuring the financial goals. How do you set a financial goals? Within my life, what all financial goals do I have to achieve? Buying a car, buying a bungalow, doing this, foreign vacation, then setting up my retirement timelines, setting up the, calculating the retirement fund requirements, then living life after retirement. So all of that, essentially the financial planning, the core concepts of financial planning. How do you set up financial goals and how do you make plans to achieve those goals is what you get to study in retirement planning. And then you have tax planning, where you study about primarily income tax. So my CA friends again here. So what we study in CA has corporate tax 2 and individual tax 2. Here what you get to study here is primarily individual taxation, the personal taxation, right? So you would get to study the income tax as well as the taxes related to investment, capital gains, taxes related to the investment products. All of that you get to study here in tax planning. What also you learn here is tax implications, tax planning in case of NRIs, in case of person living in other country, person who is spending half of the time in the other country, generating half of the income from other country and here. So all of those typical case scenario, which I mean, the kind of clients that you have in metros today, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, where your clients keep shuttling across different countries and they have income generating out of different countries as well. Then you have clients who are investing in foreign markets and you need to advise them. Today, what happens if you are an insurance advisor or a mutual fund advisor, or you are an IFA, if a client asks you even some basic questions on tax, you route them to a chartered accountant. You say, sir, this your CA will answer. Sir, for this tax purposes, you ask your CA. Whereas this CFP program will enable you to give him a precise advice related to the tax matters as far as the individual taxation is concerned. You won't be able to answer his business taxation concerns, but individual, the personal taxation concerns will be very well equipped with, right? So that's the level 2. Level 2, you finish, you take the exam, move to level 3. Level 3 is called risk and estate planning. So the first, here again, just 2 modules to study. The first one is risk management and insurance, where you study about the first core concept, risk management. It is not about just insurance selling. I know I have many of my insurance advisor friends here as well, but insurance advisory is more of insurance selling. What you learn here is the core concepts behind it. So Rajesh is a person. What is the life value of Rajesh? How much of insurance does Rajesh actually need? And how do you arrive at that value? What are the various methods to calculate the insurance requirements, right? So you learn those core concepts, then the various insurance products, then the insurance market in India, then insurance market overseas, right? That's what combines here in this module called risk management and insurance. And then you have the other module, that's estate planning. So estate, gentlemen, please do not get confused with the word real estate. estate planning here essentially means wealth succession. So if you remember, the first module was about investment. So you advised people, they created, they invested, they created wealth. That was one. Second module was retirement and tax. So if I created investment, what will happen? I'll set up financial goals. I'll try to achieve those goals. I'll create money. Okay. And what if that happens, what will happen? I'll have tax implications. So you learn tax. And if I have all of this, I need to manage my risk. I need to manage my life risk and my asset risk. So I learned insurance as well. Now, when everything is done, what happens? I need to pass on my wealth to the next generation too, right? So how do I pass on my wealth to the next generation? That's what estate planning is. And now, gentlemen, again, a lot of you who are IFAs, if today your customers on a day discusses you that I have a portfolio of this much, or I have a wealth of this much, 10 crores, which I have to distribute to my kids, probably you will not be able to answer that. The reason being because you are not aware of the succession laws. You are not aware of these regulations around it. So how do you advise them on succession? Then what happens? Your client is forced to reach out to maybe a lawyer or a chartered accountant, or most preferably a person who is a combination of these two, a CA as well as a lawyer, so that he understands the financial parts and he understands the laws too. If you are a CFP, you will be able to instantly answer and guide your clients on these succession matters as well, because you learn here succession planning. Okay, so that completes your level 3. You appear at level 3 exam. You move on to level 4. Level 4 is certified financial planner, the final program, completing which you get your final certification of CFP. Level 1, 2, 3, when you complete, you get those level certification. The final level you complete, you get your CFP final certification. This again has got 3 modules: financial planning process, engaging clients, and developing financial plans. 3 modules which are more of client-centric modules, as in how do you deal with clients, how do you engage your clients into the decision-making process, how do you have clients buying, what are the processes that you need to follow, what are the templates that you need to follow, what are the formats for the financial plans, what are the guidelines for the financial plans. This is what you primarily study here. So these are 3 more process-oriented, the client process-oriented content that you study. But before you move on to the exam, you also do a project with them. It's a very live project, unlike any typical. I have not many of my MBA guys here as well. So unlike any MBA project where you can do a Google cut, copy, paste and prepare your project, the project that you get to do in CFP is a real life project. You are given a project like Ashok Kumarji is 50 years old. He is living in Delhi. He has this house. He has that liability. He has that assets. His life goals are these. He has 2 sons. He wants to send 1 son to US for education. Likewise, his entire life history would be written. And then his financial goals in life would be written. And he would be asked to prepare plans to achieve those goals. That's a real life project. No Google cut, copy, paste would be ever helping you. You have to do it on your own, under the guidance of course, our coaches, our teachers, our faculty members. Right? So what I'm trying to tell you is whatever you have learned in level 1, 2, and 3, all that amalgamates together and converts in a very practical shape here in the level 4 in terms of the project. So you complete that, you pass the level 4 exam, and then you get the CFP certification. Coming to the examination format. So level 1, 2, 3, these are all online exam, 2 hours exam, only 2 hours exam, 75 questions, 75 marks, all MCQs, no negative marking, all MCQs, okay, all will have options A, B, C, D kind of, no negative marking at all. Passing marks is generally 53-55%, but I have written here 60 deliberately to give you a very kind of relative idea here. 60% of 75 is what? 45. So which means if you mark your 45 questions right, you are through with the exam. Marking 45 questions right in a CFP exam is what your ultimate goal should be, minimum. That's what it is required. All 2 hours exam, 75 questions, 75 marks. Then you have the final exam, which is slightly different, though it is an online exam, but instead of 2 hours, it is 3 hours now. Okay. Instead of 75 questions, now it is 50 questions, only 50 questions. In place of 75, now it is 50 questions. In place of 75 marks, now it will be 100 marks. So 50 questions are divided in 25 questions of 1 mark each and 25 questions of 3 marks each. That would make it 50 questions, 100 marks. But again, all MCQs, no negative marking. Passing score, as I said, is approximately 60%, 50 to 50, but you can say 60%. And you will be required to do a project, which I have already explained to you. The exam is based on a case study. In your exam also, you get a practical case study, and based out of those case studies, you are asked question in the final exam. Okay? So that's the format of the exam for CFP. So now your question would be, okay, so I have qualified my CFP, then what do I do? As a chartered accountant does, you are allowed to do independent practice. You are allowed to work with the corporate, your choice. Okay. You can set up your own business. You can do your own practice, set up a financial planning firm, set up an advisory firm. That's your own choice. Or go and work with big corporates or the banks or the wealth management companies, wherever you want to work. India or overseas, anywhere. Choice is yours because your certification is accepted, recognized everywhere. What are the sectors which are open to you after doing CFP? You can get into banks, mutual funds, insurance, wealth management, portfolio management, stock broking, fintech startups. You can be an independent practitioner. You can act as an IFA with a credible IFA. Okay, not a me to IFA. So everybody is an IFA. I am also an IFA. That's just being an IFA. I'm an IFA with a certification, a highly decorated certification, with a global certification. That's like saying that I am distinct. Okay, you can deal in tax planning. You can work with fintech firms. So all of these areas open for you. I would emphasize more on overseas because that's what the talk of the day is supposed to be, that how do you move overseas? So if you have to go after completing your CFP, if you have to go overseas, how does that happen? What are the processes that you need to follow? So in totality, there are 5 scenarios which can happen. Okay, talking about global careers, global client management or global businesses, there are 5 scenarios that can happen. The scenario 1 is, I am in India working with an MNC, a BFSI, Banking and Financial Services MNC, which is operating in India, but which is an MNC, which has a clientele outside India. So for example, I am working here with a company called Ameriprise. Not many of our students are working with Ameriprise. Working with Ameriprise, managing the portfolios, managing the investment plans, creating the investment plans for clients based out of America, based out of USA. Okay. So then how do I do that? Am I allowed to do that? Yes, you are allowed to do that. Scenario 1, you do not need to do anything. You are straight away authorized to do that. If you are based in India and you are handling clients or portfolio of people anywhere other than India as well, anywhere in the world, you are allowed to do that. Okay, your CFP license is valid enough, good enough, and it makes you competent enough to do that. Perfect. So scenario 1, absolutely no problems. It's a big tick mark, no checkpoint. You straight away your CFP certification is valid and is open, it keeps this open for you. Scenario 2, I am a CFP professional in India. I am practicing as an IFA. And I have clients across different countries, across multiple countries. I have an NRI client who is based in USA and he takes advice from me. I have some foreign nationals, some embassy professionals who are living in India and they are foreign nationals. They want my advice. Am I allowed to do that? Yes, because the certification that I carry is recognized, is globally is a global certification recognized. I am allowed to do that. Okay, again, no checkpoints, straight away a big tick mark. You can do that straight away with your CFP certification in India that you have taken. Okay, the checkpoint comes next. I want to migrate from migrate from India to some other country. I have done my CFP in India. So like I have done my CFP in India. Now I want to migrate to USA, or I want to migrate to Australia. Okay. And I want to work there in a corporate, or I want to work there in, I want to do my own practice. That's the question where this is slightly tricky. So I'll take your time and attention here to understand this. Okay. So if I want to migrate from India to Australia, or migrate from India to UK or USA, the companies out there, the businesses out there, the BFSI companies out there recognize my certification that I am a CFP. So they allow me an entry. They don't build a checkpoint that no, Rajesh, you are not allowed to do. They allow me a checkpoint. They allow me an entry. Okay. I can go and work with those companies there. Now, if I can go and work, then what differentiates? You see, while doing my CFP certification, I've studied global content. I've studied India specific content. If I go to work in USA, I've already studied global content, so I know about US market, US financial markets, structures and everything. What I would extra need to know is the products which are prevailing there. The products may be slightly different. For example, their retirement products are 401k. I do not have 401k in my country. That's a different product altogether. So the local product information, product awareness, I will need to build. I need to learn. Okay. But there is no checkpoint which restricts me. The companies will allow me to work. The companies will accept me. Okay. But in case if I want to practice on my own, I say no, I'll go there and practice on my own as a financial planner. Then what? Then the point is there are two ways to practice. Okay, if I go from India and I want to practice in USA, India to Australia, and I want to practice there as a financial planner, there are two ways to practice. One is where there is no checkpoint, I straight away can do it. The other is where there is a checkpoint. Okay, I will explain you both the ways. Okay, so the first is a biographical statement process. The process of on the basis of biographical statement, where the FPSB guidelines say that if Rajesh is moving to USA and wants to practice there in USA, with his CFP India, the CFP certification that he has acquired in India, there is no restriction as such. The only thing is when Rajesh will practice in USA, wherever he writes his name Rajesh Kumar CFP, below that in letters, in small letters, he will need to write certified financial planner authorized in FPSB India, or completed in FPSB, completed in India. That I will need to write. Why so? So that my investors out there know that this person has completed his program in India. He is practicing here, that's fine, but he has completed his program in India. Okay, so that's one way. That's called biographical statement process. I can do that. But that puts me in a little disadvantaged position, because then the client would also know that Rajesh has done his certification in India. That means he may not be knowing the US products very well. So he may not have that relevant information, right? So that probably puts me in a little disadvantaged position. So then the option is, then what I need to do is there is this cross-border examination system. Cross-border examination is if I am moving from India to USA, Australia, any other country out of those 27 countries that you saw, when I reach there, I will need to take a small examination. The small examination within after reaching there, I will have to enroll with the FPSB board there with some format. I'll explain you that too, what are the requirements. And with that, I will have to take a small examination, just one examination. That examination would be primarily covering two things, only two things. One, the taxation laws of that country where I am going to practice now. And second, the investment products which are prevailing in that country. because only these two things separate, distinguish from country to country. Otherwise, more or less the structure, the company. So time value of money, the way you calculate in India will remain the same in USA. It doesn't impact, right? Life value, the way you calculate here in India will remain the same. What will vary is the laws that you study and the prevailing financial products. That's all. You study this, you take one exam there, qualify that exam, and you are given the license to practice there without writing that certified in India or passed in India. You without writing that line, then you can write Rajesh Kumar CFP. That's all, and you can practice in US as well. So two ways to practice. One is without examination, without any checkpoint. Just write that biographical statement below your name, Rajesh Kumar CFP, and that biographical statement. Practice anywhere in the world. The second is take that cross-border examination. Then no need to write that biographical statement. Just write Rajesh Kumar CFP and practice. Okay, so that's about migrating with your CFP certification in India to other country and practicing there. Scenario 4, I have done my CFP in India. I am moving to some other country temporarily, 6, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. The process is as similar as this scenario 3. Okay, it's absolutely my choice. I think that it is a temporary phase for 6, 7 months. I'm going to be there. So I may work with that biographical statement rather than going for the cross-border examination and the other processes. Or I may feel that, okay, I will complete it, so I can do that. That's completely my choice, but the terms remain the same. Okay. Then comes, I have a CFP certification in India, and when I go to USA, after doing my cross-border examination there, I want a CFP certification from USA also. Okay, so I want dual certification. Because in future also I plan that I'll stay in India for around 5-6 months every year and 5-6 months in USA every year. I'll handle clients at both the places. Then what do? Will I need to pass all my exams in US again? No, absolutely not. I will not. The only thing is the same process as in scenario 3, but here the cross-border examination becomes mandatory. After going there, I do that FPSB registration and the cross-border examination. But what becomes mandatory here is every year I will have to renew my license every year at both the countries, India as well as US. Every year I will need to renew my licenses at both the places. That's a mandatory thing then. Okay. So that's about migrating from one country to the other country. How do you migrate? In what circumstances do you migrate? And what are the processes that you need to follow? Coming to the biographical statement that I was talking about. So the 27 countries, I said, if you go, just practice on the basis of biographical statement, or you go to US, do the cross-border examination, you have a new membership there, work there. If you need both India as well as US, need to pay the fees for both. You need to renew both the licenses as per the CPDC, CPE points in both the countries. Now the question can be, what if I go outside these 27 countries, not these 27, but outside these 27? Then what happens? What if I go to Bangladesh? What if I go to Burma? What if I go to Nepal? What will happen with my certification? Will that be accepted? Will that be allowed? Yes, that will be accepted, that will be allowed. The only thing is you will be required to use the biographical statement. That CFP, so Rajesh Kumar CFP certification done in India, you will have to write that. CFP certified in India, CFP qualified in India, you will have to write like that below your name. That biographical statement becomes a mandate, but otherwise you can practice there too. Nobody stops you. Okay. So technically then you can practice anywhere on the planet. Okay. The 27 countries why we always keep talking about is because these are the 27 countries which probably have the biggest of the investment potential, which have the majority of the clients, majority of the population, majority of the investors circuit. That's where probably you get your client, your business. That's why we keep talking about these countries. And that's one of the reasons why Financial Planning Standards Board has also built offices, has built network, has built team, has built examination system, has built licenses system in these 27 countries so far. Okay. So, two ways to practice, two ways to go global. Just to summarize what I discussed, two ways to go global. You want to go global, you can. There are two ways to go global. The first is the biographical statement. Now, if you see a sample biographical statement I've written here, Rajesh Kumar CFP, certified to advise on financial planning in India by FPSB USA. Authorized to मेरे को FPSB USA ने किया है. I've been certified by authorized by FPSB USA, but I was authorized in India. Okay, so that's the biographical statement, that similar biographical statement, not word to word, but similar biographical statement you are supposed to write. Or the second is the cross-border examination. Cross-border examination, what happens? You need to give a proof of residence of your new territory. So I'm moving to USA. I will need to give the proof of residence for USA. That's one. A letter from FPSB India. So I'm going from India. So I will need to take a letter from FPSB India office, which will say, when did I do my CFP certification? What was my pathway? I mean, where did I study for this? Right? My business contact information. What was I doing here? I was running a firm. I was working with a company, whatever I was doing, my business contact information, mobile, email, everything, my identification number of FPSB, and any disciplinary history, right? Any client complaint, mischievous work, or whatever, the disciplinary history or action taken by FPSB or reported to FPSB, basis that a letter I will have to take from here. Okay. This I go and submit there. I pay their registration fee. So FPSB, USA, Canada, whatever is the prevailing registration fee there, I pay the registration fee, take the cross-border examination, move ahead. Okay, so that's the process. Okay, so by now you understand why CFP is such a powerful program, why CFP is truly a global program, and what differentiates it. All my CA friends now understand why this can be a good combination for you, combining CFP with CA. You see, if you are studying CA, trust me, CFP is a normal program for you. It's not that great, that difficult program for you at all. It's a normal curriculum. Of course, you will need to spend some time, but if you have experienced CA, then CFP is going to be quite easier for you too. So you understand that how it would supplement kind of your knowledge or the knowledge that you are already building with additional knowledge in personal finance and investment planning. So what are the pathways? How do you become a CFP? Two things to do. The first thing, you have to study, right? So you have to study the course. So for example, ICOFP, International College of Financial Planning, the company that I head. So ICOFP is India's first and the largest CFP education provider. As a matter of fact, CFP program was brought to India by us way back in year 2002. We are a part of Bajaj Capital Group. Bajaj Capital, I'm pretty sure everybody would have heard of. Bajaj Capital is India's one of the oldest and most respected wealth management companies. We have been in the business for 58 years. So that's our credibility, that's our lineage that we have. We are a part of Bajaj Capital Group. And we have our offices in Delhi, Mumbai, Mysore, everywhere. So as I said, we were established in year 2002. This program CFP was brought to India by us. By virtue of the fact that this program was brought to India by us, we have been able to create and build India's most comprehensive CFP study materials. When it comes to CFP, these study materials, meaning to say books, workbooks, practice notes, assignments, guest lectures, whatever, the most comprehensive study materials you get right here at ICFP. You have online study options, both virtual and e-learning. Virtual is a live class like this. And the only thing is, it is a webinar, so all of you are on mute. In a class, you are not on mute. You are allowed to interact with the faculty, talk to the faculty. So that's the virtual class. So a live virtual class, that's one option. wherever you are, sitting in Canada, sitting in Karnataka, sitting in Gujarat, wherever you are, you can do an online class with us. That's one. And then e-learning. E-learning is a pre-recorded video. The same faculty, the same study materials who teach you in the live class, but it has been pre-recorded in a studio environment, and the recording of the class is shared with you so that you can study it at your own pace, right? So that's your choice, a live class or an e-learning class. Weekdays and weekend, both options are there. We have classes on the weekdays evening, Monday to Friday evening, 7 or 7:30 to 9 or 9:30, whatever. That's Monday to Friday. Or weekend is Saturday and Sunday only. Saturday, late evening, or Sunday, you have first half of the day, right? So that's the format. You have to choose whatever suits you and how much time you can spare out, whether on weekdays or weekends. So the first is you have to study. The second is you have to meet the FPSB requirements. FPSB requirements are what? Register with FPSB, subscribe to their learning portal. FPSB also gives you some learning content, though their learning content is given to you in ebook format online. You cannot download that, you cannot save that, you cannot print that. You can just read that. Okay. So they also give you some content, you can refer to that. That's mandatory for everyone. Then take exams one by one, meet the qualifying criteria, pass the certification, get your certification. Two things to do: study, meet the FPSB requirements. That's all. The question can be, who can register for the program? Anybody who is 18 plus and has done 10+2. Irrespective of your stream, irrespective of your percentages, irrespective of your grades, you are allowed to join for CFP. Asking about why ICFP only? Why should I study at ICFP? So as I said, the program was brought to India by us. We are India's first and largest CFP education provider. We command close to 80% of CFP education market share in India. So students who are studying for CFP, 80% of them come to ICFP. That's because we have been there since 2002. The faculties who are going to be teaching you in the class, the only mandate that FPSB has is all the faculties need to be CFP. But we have gone much beyond that. All the faculties who will be teaching you in the class will not only be CFP, all of them will be CFP, but besides CFP, they would be CFAs, chartered accountants, IIM pass outs, PhDs, those kind of people will be coming and teaching you in the class. Okay. I would also like to say here, when you talk about the faculties team is headed here at ICFP by Ms. Madhu Sinha, and Madhu is a former director of FPSB India board. Now imagine a former director of the FPSB board itself coming and teaching you live in the class. That's the kind of credible faculty, stellar faculties that we have. I talked about the most comprehensive content, and last but not the least, we are proud to share that we have been clocking highest and consistent pass percentages since 2002. We have been clocking more than 80% pass rate month on month, year on year since 2002. And that has been possible because of good quality content, good coaches, good faculties, and extremely focused students like you. So because I've been talking a lot about study materials, the question can be, what are the study materials that ICFP gives other than the classes? Of course, we do classes for you, the faculties teach you, but these are the other study materials that you get. You get concepts, books, the printed books for each of the module that I was sharing, first level, second level, all the modules, books, you get concept book, the printed books written by our experts, our faculties, right? You get workbooks to practice questions. Each workbook for each module will have 500 to 800 questions for you to practice. So that allows you to get deeper into the subject, to practice and be prepared for the exam. During the classes, you are made to do a lot of group projects. You are given class assignments that you do, right? There are mock tests which are taken. All that happens during your course delivery. Every single class that you do gets recorded. and the recording is shared with you on a learning portal, right? So those videos are sent to you. Now those videos you can view as many times as you wish. There is no restriction as such. The videos are there with you for next 1 year. So you revise those concepts as many times as you wish. Now you see where technology has taken it. If it is a physical class, if one day if you are not there in the class, you miss a concept, the faculty is not going to do that concept again for you. Because it's an online class, even if you miss or if you are late, the recording is there in the there with you, and that too you can view it as many times as you wish. You can view the recording. If you have queries, you can quickly refer to the faculty as well. Yeah, so that's the power of the learning content and the way the learning content is delivered to you. Then before every exam, the examination is conducted once every month once, tentatively in the second and the third and the fourth week during those weeks. So before exams, we have doubt clearing sessions as well, where the faculties come and do a quick brush up for the exam, prepare you for the exam, right? If you remember, I was saying last exam also has a case study. So for those case studies, again, our faculties make you prepare and make you practice for enough number of case studies so that you understand how to solve those cases, how to answer the questions based out of case studies. And then you have guest lectures where our alumni, our other experts, industry experts coming and talking. And I am very happy to say that if you talk about the alumni network, probably India's most well-known financial planners or financial advisors, whether it be Gaurav Mashruwala, Lobai Navlakhi, Suresh Sadagopan, Dilshad Billimoria, all of them happen to be our alumni. They have done CFP, they have studied for CFP with us, right? So that's the kind of alum that we are proud of. Okay, coming to fees. Now your question can be, okay, so what are the fees? There are two fees involved. One is that you pay to FPSB. The other is that is for all your examination and all. The other is that you pay to me for studying, for the content, for the books, for teaching you, for projects, for everything, right? That's for study. So you remember I've said you there are two things. One is study, the second is FPSB requirement. So you pay the fees for these two. Study is with me, the requirements are with FPSB. Please keep in mind the fees that you are seeing here are not paid in one go and not paid today. They are paid as you move along the program and one by one. So level 1 fee would be paid once, that too not once. The level 1 fee, you will pay the subscription, the second time you will pay examination. Let me explain you this fee model as well. So when you register with FPSB, you pay the registration fee, that's $165. That's once only, one time for a year. So you have paid $165, done. You will not need to pay it again, valid for one full year. Okay. The second is, you remember I was telling you FPSB will give you some content, online content that you can study, you can refer to. That is FPSB ebooks that you are seeing here. That's level 1, 2, 3 is $60 each, and level 4 is $120. If you sum up this is $300, but you will not need to pay $300 in one go. You will pay $60, $60, $60, and then $120 as the program progresses. Okay. So this is the breakup: $60, $60, $60, $120. You have to pay like that. Then examination fee. When you are ready for the examination, you book your exam. Examination fee again is 61, 61, 61 for 1, 2, 3, and 122 for the last level. The total you see is 360, and there is a project fee as well, 55. Okay, but this is as you move along the program, not today. As you move along the program. And finally, when you complete all of your certification, then for getting your CFP charter, your CFP membership, you pay your certification fee, which is $120. Let me emphasize that again. The fee that you are seeing here is as you move along the program, level by level. It's not in one go. So which means, so for example, if you are paying level 1 content fee, the ebook fee, it would be $60, which means what? Approximately 4,500 rupees. booking your examination, up $61, approximately 4,500 rupees. Likewise, you will keep paying after every 2-3 months, and you will complete your program. Okay, so that's about FPSB fees. Coming to CFP study fee, the course fee. Okay, for learning the content, learn the classes that you take, the project that you do, for all of that. So that's the CFP study fee. I have told you there are two options to study. One is the virtual class, which is the live class like this. The other is the e-learning class, the pre-recorded one. The choice is yours wherever you want to go, the virtual one or the e-learning one. You can join me level by level as well. So for example, what I'm meaning here is, if you want to join only for level 1 in virtual, you have to pay this 15,000. If you have to join for level 2, you have to pay this 12,500. So you can join level by level as well, or you can join this as a bundle as well. That okay, I'm joining for the full CFP program, for the full program in one go. The advantage is if you join the program in one go, you end up saving close to 30-31%. Because if you sum up to here, the 1 to 4, the amount is 55,000. Whereas the fee for the 4-in-1 study is just 37,500, which means you end up saving close to 30-31%. Okay, so that's the saving for you. But choice is always yours, whether you want to go for virtual or e-learning, weekday or weekend, the fee is this, the fee remains the same. Virtual is 37,500, e-learning is 27,500. That's the fee. Okay. 1 second. Gentlemen, I absolutely respect that on a Saturday, that too around 3. So it was that too the kind of weather that we are in. It's a lazy afternoon. I kind of have you here. You are paying attention. You are listening here. That essentially means you are focused on your career. You want to do something. You want to add CFP. You are serious about doing CFP. You are serious about studying CFP. You are at the right platform. I don't want you to miss this. You know that it's the right program for you. It opens up plethora of opportunities for you. And you are coming to ICOFP, that means you are coming to study at the best possible place for CFP education. I have an exciting offer for you, but let me tell you, the offer is only for 10 joinees. The first 10 joinees. It's an early bird offer for the first 10 joinees. Okay, the offer is a discount worth 18,000. You will be saving approximately 18,000 rupees if you join the program today. Now, how do you save that is, instead of, if you remember, virtual fee is 37,500. So you are getting 5,000 off on this on virtual fee today. The e-learning fee is 27,500. So that means for e-learning you are getting 5,000 off. It is 22,500, but only if you join today. Okay. So that's the first. 1 second. Yeah. So that's the first. Gentlemen, please bear with me. My this cursor is stuck. Yeah. So that's the first saving for you. Approximately 5,000 is what you are saving here. Then the next saving for you is a 50% discount on FPSB content fee. FPSB content fee was what, $300 if you remember. 60, 60, 60 and 120 is $300. If you register today, when you move on to those levels, my team will give you a discount coupon which will save you 50% of the FPSB fee. Not on my fee, but on FPSB fee as well. The discount here is on FPSB fees as well. So 50% on FPSB fees, which means $300 would become $150, and $150 today would be what, approximately 13,000 rupees, right? So you saved 5,000 rupees on the course fee, approximately 13,000 rupees in the FPSB fees, which means 18,000 rupees you saved today. And the most exciting thing is, to facilitate all of this, we have 0% interest, which means interest-free student loan arrangements with NBFCs for you. Interest-free student loan arrangement. You do not need to pay even 1 rupee interest. They may charge you some processing fee, 700-800 rupees, but no processing fee at all. And entire processing is done online. No physical form, no signature, no verification, nothing. And no big documentation like your ITR, this, that, past history, nothing like that. Simple documentation, online application, it gets approved process, right? So that's the kind of thing we have put in place to facilitate this. And if you are going to enroll today, you don't need to pay me that 32,500 or 22,500. You don't need to pay us that. What you need to do is pay 10%, just 10% of it. Pay just 10% of it, balance in 6 easy EMIs through the student loan arrangement, as I said. So it's a no cost. 10% is what? 3,000. 10% of 22,500 is what? 2,250, right? So at the cost of 2,000 or 3,000 rupees, you enroll the program and balance in 6 EMIs, which means approximately 3,500 rupees a month. At the cost of approximately 3,000 rupees a month or 3,500 rupees a month, you are going to learn a truly global international program of certification, right? You are going to build your knowledge that will help you in your business, in your career. If you are a student, if you are an IFA in your business, will help you building your credibility. It's a kind of investment that you are doing in yourself. My IFA friends, you have been advising clients to invest. It is the time for you to invest in yourself, the best investment that you can possibly do. So that's the discount for you today. And remember, it's only for the first 10 joinees. Your question can be, how do I avail the discount? It's very simple, very simple. For virtual, it's through 3250. For e-learning, it's 2250. All you need to do is go to this link. Kanaya, if you can type this link in the chat also. Go to this link, icofp.org/paynow.php. Go to this link. My colleague is typing this link in the chat box too. Copy the link from there. Go to that link. Just put your number, email, whatever, and your this amount, whatever you are opting, virtual or e-learning. Put that amount. Submit. You can pay using your debit card, credit card, internet banking, wallets, whatever way you are comfortable. Pay it, block it, book your seat. First 10 joinees only. After 10, even if you pay, we will be refunding you. So you will get this offer only if you are among the first 10 joinees. Okay. So that's the offer for you today, gentlemen. You are serious about it. That's why you have been spending almost 1.5 hours with me, hearing with me with all the patience, and I truly appreciate that. Don't miss this opportunity. Book your seat now, and I would love to see you all in our next class of CFP. If you need any assistance, for example, the link is not working, it's not going, my mobile is not opening, etc., etc., call us on this number 9711437779, 9711437779. Kanhaiya, if you can write this number also in the chat. Call us on this number. My team, Christian, Manika, Deepika, Latika, they'll be more than happy answering you, more than happy helping you with any queries that you have. I'm going back again. This is the link. This is the offer. Don't miss this. Come to this link, book your seat now. I can see a lot of questions in the chat. So in the meantime, I'll take the questions from the chat. Can we watch videos as and when free time available on e-learning? Yes, Mr. Reddy, you can. Can you please differentiate between CFP and CWM? Yes, I would love to. So CFP is a program which focuses on financial planning and whole of personal finance. CWM is a program which is primarily limited to wealth management and distribution per se. It doesn't include planning. It doesn't include the conceptualizing the wealth part. It includes more of wealth management and distribution. So CWM plus planning is what will make you CFP. Okay, so CFP, when you study, it is a bit extra that you are already studying in CWM. Why people opt for CWM is because CWM is a little easier program, just 2 exams, simpler program, shorter curriculum. But gentlemen, don't take the shorter route. Okay. I don't want to take installment, but don't want to take loan, but pay in installments. We have installment options, Mr. Aditya, but the installment options work differently. If you call us on this number, or Krishan, if you can take note of his name, Mr. Aditya Chauhan, you can speak to him and guide him about the installment option. Any discount for distribution agency employee? Jitendra Srivastava ji, no. So there is no discount for any employees and all. This is the discount that you have today, sir. And this discount is for anybody and everybody, but only for the first 10. So you can hurry up, you can book your seat. What documents required for the study loan? The document would be your ID proof, your bank statement. That's all. No income proof, no salary sheet, no nothing. So it's quite simple. Nitin K. Krishan, if you can take note of this name, because he has sent me a private chat. Nitin K is saying he is interested, would like to see some sample lectures. So Nitin, what you are seeing now is a sample lecture, and the faculties who would be coming and teaching you are far more experienced than me. Okay, they would come from very different background, but still we can always show you some sample lectures. Duration of entire course. So Mr. Vinay, it depends on what option do you take. So if you are taking e-learning, the duration is in your hands, because I give you the content on day one. I don't know at what pace you study and how soon you complete. If you are coming for virtual, then it depends on whether you are taking a weekday or a weekend. If you are taking a weekday, then I am teaching you 5 days in a week, Monday to Friday, 2 hours a day. That means I'm teaching you 10 hours in a week, which means 40 hours in a month. Whereas if you are coming for a weekend, I am teaching you 2 hours Saturday, 2 hours Sunday. That means 4 hours. So which means in a month, I'm teaching you only 16 hours. Okay. So if you come for a weekend, the course will take approximately 10 to 12 months to be completed. If you come for weekdays, the course will get completed in 5 to 6 months. Okay. Difficulty level. So Rajanji, I won't say that it's very difficult program. It's not that difficult at all. It's quite okay. Even FPSB board says that the time that is required for you to study the whole program is around 200 hours. But we say you spend around 300 hours. That means 1 hour a day, and you will be through with the program. What if I want to practice in 4 or 5 countries? You can, Rohitji. I told you that if you go to other country and if you want to practice there too, you can. And the routes also I explained you how do you do that. Narendra Madhiji is saying, I have paid. Welcome, Narendraji. I'll see you in the next class, or my team will see you in the next class. Difficulty level I've answered. I've answered you, Rajanji. Difficulty level is not that great. I have been personally through this program. I have seen the difficulty level is not that great, but you will need to spend at least 1 hour a day, so that you also understand the concept. See, the idea is not only passing the exam. The idea is also building knowledge. Right, my CA friends, let me tell you, if you even attempt this exam without studying, you won't find it difficult. But the idea is to build knowledge, not only to pass the exam. So you should be spending at least 1 hour a day. Akshat is saying, I am interested, but I have some query. So Krishan, if you can contact Mr. Akshat, AKSHAT. Okay, Abhishek is asking, will CFP recognized as by SEBI as a RIA regulations? Okay, so Abhishek, if you look at SEBI RIA circular, CFP and CFA, only these 2 certifications, professional certifications, other than NISM 10 and 10B, CFP and CFA are mentioned with name in this circular. There is no other certification like CWM or CP or whatever is mentioned in the circular. CFP and CFA are very well accepted, recognized for SEBI RIA, even now. And they are mentioned in the circular very categorically. Can 12 pass out opt for this course? Yes, Shivam, 12 pass out, just you need to be 18 years of age. That's all. You can always join the course. Monday to Saturday, not Ashutosh, Monday to Friday is the weekdays. Saturday, Sunday is the weekend. After enrolling, when I apply for exam, okay. So when you enroll with us today, for the next 2.5 months, we're going to teach you the level 1. By the time level 1 is about to get completed, then we will ask you to register. Because remember, I was telling you that FPSB registration is valid for 1 year. So then why to register today if you have to appear at the exam after 3 months? So that saves you those 3 months period. So after 2.5 months, you register and then you book your exam and you take your exam. So FPSB fees will go after 2.5 months. Right now, you have to just book yours to start studying. Any background knowledge required? No, Chintu ji, no knowledge, background knowledge is required. If you are a science grad, so by the way, I was a science student up to 10+2 when I went into doing CA. So no specialized knowledge required as such, because the curriculum starts from the very basics. If you remember, when I was talking about personal financial management, I says it starts from even teaching you what is debit, credit, assets, liabilities, net worth, cash flow from there. So very basics. Your sample lectures over YouTube? No, we don't put sample lectures on YouTube at all. All our lectures are hosted on our own management system, because ultimately that's our IP. That's the intellectual property that we carry. So classes are not shared there. On YouTube, what you see is the talks that I do, the talks that my team does, talks that the guest speaker do. You can find that. Narendra paid, perfect, Narendra ji. If someone is into investment insurance. Akshat, CFP is a program which brings a very different experience and feel as compared to any other MBA program. Your MBA is more of a Me Too race. Take out the MBA curriculum. I have done my MBA, that too, while introducing Parul shared, I am an alumnus of the prestigious MBA Gurgaon. Take out the curriculum of any institution for that matter. Look at the MBA finance curriculum. Even in the MBA finance curriculum, half of things are not finance, they are management. Because the MBA program is a management program, right? So what I'm supposed to learn there is more of management, not finance. Finance is just the top, the specialization that comes in. It's not a hardcore thing that I'll be. So can an MBA finance equate a chartered accountant? No ways. Because chartered accountant is supposed to get specialized into accounting and audit. He is not supposed to get specialized into management. So different things altogether. Similarly, CFP is supposed to specialize in investments, finance, personal finance, investment planning, investment management. That nobody else can do. Okay. Which is easy. Rajan, I said CWM is much easier. Just 2 exams, short curriculum, lesser to learn, quick. CFP probably 15-20% tougher than CWM, but value-wise, 100% more value. So it's better to put 15% extra effort, go for a bigger value, a larger value. Vinay, no, even with 15 years experience, Vinay, I'm so sorry, there are no exceptions. You have to study the whole program and take the exam. There are no exemptions now. For the last 2 years, when CFP new program started, no exemptions are permitted anywhere. Pramila, already paid. Excellent, Pramila ji. Love to see you in the next class. What is the ideal self-study hour required? I said you 1 hour a day. Do we facilitate exam registration? Yes. So once you join us, our tech support guy, our program manager, they put you into a group. Any query that you have, whether related to your course, your classes, your videos, your books, your faculty, your content, your FPSB registration, your FPSB exam, you can write in there and you get an instant reply by the team. You get an instant handhold by the team. Contact number, please. Contact number my team has already done. Okay, so I think I've tried my best to take questions here and answer. After clearing exam, it is difficult to make project. No, Rajanji, so project is not difficult, but project is very interesting. So while doing this, when I was making the project, trust me, the feel that I got is, I never did a project like that earlier at all. Even during MBA projects are very regular, run of the mill kind of a project. Everybody is doing it. I have also to do it. These are the projects which are pretty exciting to do. And then you have faculty, you have coaches to help you. You have a specific classes. We deliver 6 classes for only preparing you for the project, helping you with the project, right? So it's a learning experience. Don't look at whether it is difficult or easy. It's not difficult, but it's a learning experience that you have. Okay, so Arvind, there is no NISM CFP. Okay, NISM is NISM 10A 10B. That is not NISM CFP. CFP is CFP. Okay, that's awarded by FPSB USA. Online examination. Okay, Aditya, very interesting question. Online examination you can take from your home or your office, wherever you are. Okay, but examination is all proctored examination, meaning to say, if I am sitting here, somebody else across the screen is watching me, and it's a very safe, very solid examination platform that's built where I am being constantly watched, right? So it's a very safe, secure environment that's there. They give you an examination software that you have to install and run in your system. All you need is a Windows laptop. You cannot appear this examination on an Apple laptop. Okay, that's the only requirement. So Deepika, you are a CA, not active in practice or job. What can be the future career prospects? Deepika, you are already a CA. That means your name already has a personal brand, a personal credibility, but not practice, not in job. That means you might have been a little off track, but this program will help you bring in back on the track. And then wherever you are, even if you are at home, you can probably start acting as an investment advisor. And the world is online today. You can probably start sourcing your clients and start giving investment advice online as a financial planner. Because as a CA, then you would not need to get into your corporate or the hardcore work. You as a CFP, you can kind of build around your client advisory, investment planning as a separate business for you. No age restriction as such, Mr. Reddy. The oldest participant that I had so far is some 73, 74 years old. Also, some person coming and doing it. So no age restriction at all. And not in other countries too. So if you move there, there is no restriction there as well. Okay, so my team has just shared 5 enrolled to avail discount. Click on this 5 remaining. Can we leave job and practice? If so, how the income will be getting generated? No, I'm not saying you leave both job and practice. It's you have to decide what you want to do. If you are leaving job and getting into practice, your decision, what you want to do. If you want to set up your own firm, your own financial advisory firm, you want to set up your own fintech, you want to get into a startup world, your choice, right? You have to balance that, because see, I do not know what your career aspirations are, what are your assets and liabilities, what are your family, what is your family situation, what are your goals? How can I say that you should be living job and practice? That's completely your call. So Kanhaiya, I think I've answered all the questions from the chat. If at all there is anything which is left, the team participants can always call on the number that is here, 9711437779. My team would be happy answering you. And if at all they are not, and if at all you want to talk to me, they will connect you to me as well. I don't have core knowledge of investment. Will you start all these things? So I said, Akshat, the course starts from the very basics, even telling you what is a debit, credit, what is asset, liability, net worth, etc. Okay, my email ID. Okay, perfect. I can give you my email ID. Yeah, so here my email ID is rajeshk@icofp.org. Srikesh, earning potential for anybody. You are asking me CFP. I have not many of my CA friends here. You ask them, a CA would be earning 30,000 also, a CA would be earning 30 lakhs also. The earning potential is never tagged to a course, a curriculum. The earning potential is tagged to a person. thanks to your abilities. Okay. Okay, perfect. So I'm happy that I could add value to to your learning. I'm happy that I could answer lot many questions, queries that you had around CFP program, your career aspirations in financial planning and investments. I would love to see all of you joining us and helping you kind of take your dreams, take your next steps in the financial planning world. So Kanhaiya, with that, can we sign off?
Yes, sir. We can. We should.
Perfect. Kanhaiya, I can see Dr. Neeraj Sagar. He has raised hands. You can allow him to unmute.
Sure, sir. Yes, Neeraj ji, please unmute yourself. Dr. Neeraj.
No, so maybe he is not there. So Kanhaiya, can we sign it off now?
Hello.
Yeah, he's there. Yes, Dr. Neeraj.
Thank you that you have seen my raised hand, but actually my question is already answered. I was just trying to question about that, the earning potential of this program.
Thank you. Perfect. So Kanhaiya, I think we have already answered all the questions that I could see in the chat. So
Yes.
we could sign off.
Yes, sir. We should.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.